Hello and welcome to another episode of Regional Powerhouses. My name is Izzad and I will be your host for this episode. Now today, my guest is Dato' Mahmud Abbas, the Chief Executive Officer of Selangor State Development Corporation, also known as PKNS. The organization is on a mission to develop new growth centers, residential areas, industrial zones in the state of Selangor. It also helps Selangor government in executing policies relating to poverty reduction, community restructuring and investment to help the Bumiputra community to participate more in industry and trade. With a vision that says building communities, enriching lives and realizing dreams, PKNS is responsible for developing over 11 townships in Selangor, which includes the state capital Shah Alam, Petaling Jaya, Bangi and Ampang. The organisation is also a key delivery partner in the Selangor government's Rumah Selangorku or My Selangor Home project. In 2021, PKNS has delivered over 4,000 of these affordable homes under the project, 864 of which was built in Selangor Cyber Valley, measuring a sizable 1,000 square feet, all of which went for 220,000 to 250,000. Now, this commitment for property and township development is why PKNS won the International Business Review ASEAN Awards 2022 for government service delivery in the construction sector for affordable housing. Now, joining me today to talk about PKNS and its plans for the coming years, here is Dato' Mahmud Abbas. Hi, Dato', how are you doing today?
Very good. Thank you very much, Izzat.
Alhamdulillah, glad to have you here, Dato'. Honored to have you, and congratulations again to PKNS for being the winner of the International Business Review ASEAN Awards for government service delivery in the construction sector for affordable housing.
Thank you very much.
As the Chief Executive Officer of PKNS, how did you feel about the company achieving such a esteemed recognition?
Well, I think it's about time that we got the award. Well, PKNS has been around for more than coming to 56, 57 years.
Long established.
And over the years, we have done our role, which was actually in an enactment by the state. The role of PKNS is to develop areas so that the rural people can come into the cities. And then besides that, to also create opportunities for these people to work. So that was the role that we were set up with and what we have to do. And of course, over the years, like you rightly mentioned, we have developed many townships. Petaling Jaya, Datuk Keramat, Ampang, Shah Alam, Bangi, etc., etc. And I think PKNS has been very successful in fulfilling that role. We see many areas where people from the rural areas were able to come actually to the cities. And in the earlier days, we had PKNS flats. PKNS flats has always been the center of what we do. And then you've got the PKNS complex. So as we go along, we were doing these flats for the lower income group. And I remember when I was, even in my younger days, we stayed in a PKNS home. I was staying in a PKNS home in the Petaling Jaya Utama. Well, I think at that point of time, of course, there were not many developers around, and PKNS was probably the sole developer. That is why under our enactment, PKNS is allowed to set up a local authority. And this is what we did in Petaling Jaya. When we developed Petaling Jaya, which was actually an estate at that point of time, and there was no local authority to approve the plans.
Could I ask what year was that?
That was in the early 70s, late 60s, 60s. 60s.
In the foundation years.
When we developed Petaling Jaya. Jadi at that point of time, you don't have many Malaysians who are engineers and architects, etc. And PKNS was the sole body with all these qualifications and so on. And therefore, we were able to build houses made of bricks with proper either PAR foundation or PET foundation with proper ground beams, etc. And we were able to actually approve those buildings. We don't need the local authority to approve it because we are already the local authority.
Right. Right.
So the technical expertise of the company is there. And when the country first developed or rather encouraged the use of uh, panels in buildings high rise, PKNS was in the front line
Mm.
to build accommodation using prefabricated panels. Yeah. So along the way, I think we have done PKNS has done that and also developed a complex PKNS for people to do businesses, for retailers, etc. And in that manner, I believe that having the award given to us, I think is made us very proud that we have done something good for the nation. And this being a very prestigious award, I believe, yes, I do believe that we deserve it. But I think there was a lot of efforts trying to fulfill our role that make us deserving of such a esteemed award.
Dato', speaking about your efforts from PKNS, during your tenure, how was the company able to overcome the challenges it faced?
Well, I think as we go along in time, there are many companies which has prospered because of PKNS. In the early days, companies like Setia, being a construction company, was our contractors. But now they are one of the biggest developers. So we are very proud that these companies are able to grow from being contractors to good developers. Instead, in fact, they have overtaken us in terms of their size and their building capabilities. But that's fine. I think the role of PKNS is to develop companies, and that we have done. We are very proud to have good developers like Sunway, SPL, Gamuda, YTL, who were working with us as contractors before, and they have succeeded very well. Now, I think you talk about the challenges that we have. At this point of time, if you are to develop a housing project in Selangor, the government has made it mandatory that 50% of your units must be of the low rise, low for the low income group,
Right.
a certain price structure. And therefore, we are not the only one or the only organization in the country that provides low cost. Other developers are also doing the same. Obviously, because as the population grows, we are not able to cater to the demand to build low-cost units.
Mhm.
And you know that when we do low-cost units, we don't make money, we lose. And therefore, we've got to build other higher-end units in order to sustain the low-cost units. Yeah.
Mhm.
And,
How
and
you overcome the losses lah.
correct.
Mm.
So I think it is a challenge for us is to actually fit in the role that we were supposed to we were set up before, because now that role has been taken over by other developers as well. Right? So the biggest challenge for us is how does PKNS will be able to contribute to national growth, yeah, so that we will be again like in the 60s or in the 70s, the only company that does such things. And therefore, we have to make sure that the products that we have, product offerings that we do cater to the current needs of the people. Yeah, so
Mhm.
that will be the challenge for us.
Mhm.
And again, with a very competitive environment that we have, and the expectation that PKNS must return the profits every year, it becomes a challenge when PKNS, for the last 10 years, are being treated like a normal company where there are no more incentives given by the government for us.
Mm.
As an example, uh, we are paying income tax, which we never did before, and we also pay premium like any other developers. Yeah,
Mhm.
and yet we are expected to uh, deliver
Mm.
based on the enactment that we will set up.
Right, right.
So the challenge is that in order to fulfill such gaps.
Oh, so partly because we were talking about affordable homes, right? People think like affordable homes, or it just means like it's bare bones. Can you tell us a bit more about the affordable homes that you were mandated to do?
I think when we talk about affordable homes, we have situations now where affordable homes are not being taken up.
Right,
You know, gone are the days where, as a developer, I remember in 1980 when I first started work, people had to queue to get a form
right. Mm-hmm.
to buy a house.
House.
To buy a house, you got to fill a form. And to fill the form, you got to get the form, you got to queue. You don't see that anymore now. Queuing to buy houses. People queue now to go into an eating shop. So I think market as market become more sophisticated and so on. Affordable homes now cannot be built anywhere. Location becomes a priority.
Right.
But I think we all know that land is becoming more scarce,
Yeah.
especially in Selangor. And the ones in the good locality are very expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah.
And therefore, you are not able to build affordable homes in these locations anymore. But what happened is the affordable homes that was built in the 60s and 70s are now in prime locations.
Ah, I see. Got it.
And that is why you see PKNS flats, etc., being rehabilitated and redeveloped into higher end units in these areas.
I see.
Yeah.
To cater to the market lah.
To cater to the market needs, yes.
Mm-hmm.
But I
I would.
think at the end of the day, that more importantly is for us now to have a product offering that is more related to the needs of the market.
Market lah.
For instance, like we know that we are having a aging society.
Aging society, is it? Yeah.
Aging society. And in an aging society, uh, people would need more homes that are very friendly to the older people, of how old people move around in their homes, and how they are taken to the hospitals, etc., etc.
Right.
So, in this manner, I think these are one of the offerings that we will be moving seriously into.
Right. It's more we're talking about the construction design in a sense that it's more open to the elderly and the more
Exactly.
older folk in the country lah.
Right. I think when it comes to the older people, the design is very different than the normal houses that is put into the market. For instance, when you design in your bedroom, in your bathroom, where you've got a wastewater trap on the basin, you must make sure that it's properly done, because a lot of old people loses their teeth when they want to brush their teeth. This thing they have to take out some of the teeth and put it on the side of the basin, and sometimes it drops into and get lost into the gut, into the thread. So
Yeah.
all these things have to design, and even for instance the garden. You cannot have a garden which is on the ground, because then old people cannot be bending down. So these are some of the considerations that needs to be looked into when we develop such products.
Such a products will like in the coming years, I suppose.
Yeah.
So, Dato, talking about affordable housing, since the award itself, is awarded to PKNS's ability in providing affordable housing, are there any more future plans to continue delivering more homes under the Selangor State's My Selangor Home project?
Oh yeah. Of course. Besides what I was telling you about, in the older generations and so on, so on, the core of PKNS is still to provide affordable housing, irrespective of whether other people are providing it as well. Because this is never enough. Although if you are to build affordable housing in areas which is in the ulu or in faraway places, which serve no purpose. So before, it was different. In 40 years ago, there were a lot of untapped land. Yeah,
Mm.
and when you build, people will queue to buy your houses. Now, the affordable housing must be in good locations.
Cars are getting harder to find.
Which you can't. It's difficult to get land in good location, and also the opportunity to build a good or good income building where you can get better profit as compared to building affordable housing
Yeah.
in such good locality.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, it is our role, and we'll keep to it, that we will continue to build affordable housing. Yeah, although although not all of it will be in good location, but certainly, a lot of it will be in good locations. Locations which is near to the city, locations which is near to the station, LRT stations,
Public transport, yeah, yeah.
railway stations, etc. Now we
Mm.
will still continue this task that has been put upon us.
See, that's a very commendable responsibility to take on
Yeah.
for PKNS. For the past 27 years, apart from developing infrastructure in Selangor, PKNS also has successfully organized a number of programs that has expanded businesses, for more than 41,000 entrepreneurs. A notable program is the recently launched Selangor Entrepreneurs Expo 2022. Could you tell us a bit more about PKNS's goal internally in involving Selangor by helping develop these entrepreneurs?
Right. Uh, I told you earlier that I informed you earlier that PKNS was tasked with two important roles. One was to build affordable housing in the city. The
Mm.
second one is to make sure that there are opportunities given to these people.
Mhm.
In trying to give the opportunity or trying to fulfill the second obligation, PKNS has developed buildings of commercial value. We started off with complex PKNS. So entrepreneurs, the people that are in the city, has the opportunity to do businesses at very low rental rates. Besides complex PKNS, we had another one in Kuala Lumpur before. I can't remember the name of it. But nevertheless, and we do complex PKNS not only in the Shah Alam, in Bangi, or in certain other locations. Now, graduating for complex PKNS is the SACC complex,
Right, I see.
where it's a shopping mall, but those people who have got good customers and developed the business well, they move to higher complex, which is
Mhm.
the SACC. And once they are better off there, then they can move to another mall that we have, which is Gelate Mall.
I see.
So,
So they
so
can move
there is
up
a
the ladder then.
progression. There is progression of infrastructure that is provided for businesses to grow from one place and move on to the other. And hopefully, after KLCC, after the Gelatic Mall, they can move to KLCC. And from KLCC, if the brand is being developed well, they can then export to. So these are the infrastructure that is provided, the hard infrastructure that we provide. Now, besides that, we have got what we call the BPU, which is the bahagian, which is actually a cost center to us, but nevertheless a very important apa ni, revenue generation for the country. Now, what the BPU does is it provides training and intervention to not only budding entrepreneurs, but we start the training from the school.
From the school, eh?
From the school itself. We have got programs that we have developed to train the school-going children of secondary school to be in business, to expose them to business. Yeah. And there is another program that we have got for the university students that if once they graduate, how can they become entrepreneurs, etc. And we've got a third program, which is for the graduates, the graduate programs. Jadi we have got 3 levels of programs, and for the graduate programs are inclusive also of those people, the budding entrepreneurs, that we train, etc., and give them opportunities. Now, then you ask me what kind of opportunities do they have?
Yes.
I think for us, besides the training that we give basically for free, we have got an annual event, which is a service, and they are able to display their products. Over this event is over a 3-day period. We also provide assistance in getting finance. We do not provide the financing, but we have got banks, etc., who are very close to us and who have got certain amounts of funding for businesses. And we recommend to the banks, these are the people that are potential to obtain your loans, etc. We also work with many government agencies like Halal Development Corporation, Teraju, bahagian usahawan, etc. To provide financing for our entrepreneurs that we develop. And
there's a lot of confidence in organizations in terms of what PKNS can offer to help these entrepreneurs.
Yes. And then besides that, we also have got I think about 6 trips a year that we take our entrepreneurs and work with Matrade to ensure that they are exposed to overseas market. So I think you will know very well that if you are starting a business, a very important thing that you need, there are only 2 key things that you need. Number 1 is you need money. Number 2, you need markets. So this is what we provide.
Exposed to them. Also, in terms of, Dato', what's your vision for PKNS in terms of developing Selangor and raising the standards of Selangor?
I think when you talk about raising standards of Selangor, we talked about the per capita income of the people in the states. And therefore, in order to increase the per capita income of the states, the salary levels, the income levels of the people must grow. And now, how do you do this? I think over the years, we have successfully transformed our economy from being agriculture-based to being a manufacturing-based economy. And therefore, in order to move up the value chain, we cannot just be doing normal manufacturing. We now have to do the higher end manufacturing, etc. Now, how does PKNS, knowing that this is how the flow of economic activities are, the PKNS position itself to make sure that we are able to contribute. In this respect, we are opening up many industrial land in strategic places so that we're able to attract high quality investments, FDIs coming into Selangor. Now, these FDIs will have to be FDIs of the higher grade, not the normal machines, machinery, manufacturing, etc. These have got to be higher grade so that our people will be able to work in such facilities and maybe later develop their own facilities of this quality manufacturing.
Where they can grow their
Us,
skills.
correct.
Mm-hmm.
Us will be starting off to develop two key industrial parks, and we hope we will be developing more over the time.
Over the time.
Yeah.
Dato', what's also, can you reveal a little bit, like just hint, your exciting future collaborations that PKNS has in store?
Well, we have developed a lot of pipeline projects, and a lot of the projects we are moving also into rehabilitation of projects because we know that land is getting scarce.
Yeah.
Therefore, we need to be able to have the ability to rehabilitate a building, an old building, make it new, and bring it to the current standards that can have the current or satisfy the current demands. How businesses are being conducted. So this is some skill sets, new skill sets that we are developing. But nevertheless, with the experience that we have, PKNS, we are looking now at offers by foreign countries for us to develop affordable homes. Those countries, yeah.
I see.
I've got a few visits already. We are looking at it. Of course, we are looking at because of the skill sets that we've developed over the years. Now, people are looking at the model of PKNS. Countries are looking at the model of PKNS, and maybe as a start, they want us to develop low cost housing with full take up of the houses in these countries. So again, we are studying that. We are studying that. But as you know, we need, like I said earlier, the low cost housing that has been built. You don't make profit. In fact, you lose money. So we have got to make our money elsewhere, as we do not we do not enjoy the free land, no premium and no income tax anymore. So PKNS have, over the years, I think my predecessors have developed a vision of trying to be in businesses that can support our core role. And in doing so, we are developing 1,200 megawatts of gas-powered power plants.
Also going into plant energy sector as well.
The energy business.
Right.
And we have got another 200 or 300 200 megawatts of hydroelectricity, hydro power. Besides that, we also do waste and waste to energy. We will be moving into hazardous waste in the near future.
Hazardous waste as well. Dato',
some of the areas, and besides that, we are developing our healthcare unit where we will be moving into hospitals, building hospitals, etc. So these are some of the areas that we have got to tap into, where it is not an area that is easy to get access because there are certain barriers to entry, huge capital, we need licenses, etc. These areas are areas that we are in order to create the income to sustain our entrepreneurship and also our low-cost developments.
I see. I see. Can you like give a hint, like some of these countries that's coming to you, to ask if you could develop for them?
Well, I think, interestingly, I had one that came yesterday. With it is a sovereign, it's a wealth, it's a fund,
I see. Sovereign wealth fund. Yeah, yeah.
sovereign wealth fund
Mhm.
that has got a license to develop about 500 to 1,000 acres of land for building low cost, affordable homes. So they are very impressed and with what we have done. And well, there's a lot of again, there's a lot of discussions to be held still, but nevertheless, we cannot always forget our role. Our role, key role, is to provide low cost housing to our people.
To our people. Yeah.
Our people, right? Now, therefore, we of course we can help there to tell them how they can set up PKNS there. But nevertheless, for us to be going, we will have to look into, of course, the risk and also the potential of making money that will be able to help us provide low cost housing and facilities to our entrepreneurs here locally. So we will only make that decision when we come to the bridge.
Looking forward to hear from the Dato. Dato, last one question in terms of talking, because it shows how much confidence, organizations have, even international ones, in PKNS. How would, coming back to the awards, right? How would winning, the awards help PKNS in terms of growing its corporation's value?
I think when we talked about PKNS, the awareness of this company is amongst our people is high. You can go to a restaurant and you can see people wearing PKNS t-shirts. Last month, I was in Johor and I was surprised that there is a family of 3 boys wearing the PKNS punya shirts. So the brand is a well-known brand. But nevertheless, it is not a brand that caters to the higher end. It is a brand that is a lower price brand, but with quality products.
Quality products.
So that is the brand that we are in now. And I will not be changing that perception. In fact, we will be enhancing that brand name in that market segment. But nevertheless, what we do is we do need to sell high-end products as well, but not under the PKNS brand. We have got other brands, higher-end brands that sells $1 million or 2 million ringgit products.
I see.
But not under the PKNS brand.
It's like subsidiaries lah.
Yeah, we have got subsidiaries that do all those. Yes.
And that's about wrap it up. Thank you so much, Dato. It's a pleasure to have you on the show today. We hope you have a great day ahead, Dato. Thank you so much again.
Thank you, Zach. It's been a pleasure.
Likewise, Dato.
And continue the good work of giving awards to deserving companies.
Of course, there's so many deserving companies and organizations out there, and we'll definitely get to them soon enough. And for our audience today, follow us on our social media pages, LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. Just look up the IBR Asia Group on those sites and you're set for more content. Also, you could also bookmark our website, thevoiceofasean.com, to keep up to date with our upcoming shows. We thank you for your time, and for those who joined us midway the show, don't worry, you can catch us the replay of this show with Datuk Mahmud Abbas on our portals. Thank you again, and see you guys soon.